Thank you, and thank you for the well-timed wellness breaths. So imagine an 8-year-old boy who in the middle of the night, he was awoken abruptly by a sound outside of his window. This sound wakes up his entire family. His brother, his mother, his father are all now looking outside the window. There is someone getting beaten up outside. Holding his breath, he waits. Thoughts going through his mind, wanting to do something. He notices that his dad is scared. Scared that if he acts upon this, maybe someone outside is going to know it's their family. Outside, the noise continues. Someone now screaming out for help. This young 8-year-old boy is wanting to help the people outside now even more. He is left thinking about how his family feels bad because they didn't do anything. This would always happen outside of his window. He could see it every time. Every 3 weeks or so, it would happen. Now imagine this 8-year-old boy going on with his life, week after week, not really knowing what to say, who to say it to, or whether what he is saying is important. I met this young boy actually when he was in high school. When I first met him, along with many other teenagers who similarly identified as being Latino or Latina, there was no telling stories so ripe with recollection, honesty, with vulnerability, with intention, and such bravery as we see here. Instead, myself and the 6 Latina and Latino undergraduate research assistants walked into a photography class of 24 high school students who looked at us with disbelief, a faint sense of mistrust, and awe as to why we thought their voice mattered, or why we were deserving to hear their stories. As a graduate student, I had the privilege of being brought on to an inspiring community-university partnership, a research partnership led by my colleague here, Dr. Miriam Kia-Keating, and Dr. Jessica Adams, where we got to work with 24 Latinx youth-serving agencies to really understand and work together with the community members themselves on how to address violence-related health disparities that were facing our youth in Santa Barbara. My walking into this classroom day in and day out was part of this project, Proyecto Héroes. Our community partners helped us to identify the school, develop a photo elicitation program that we'd roll out in a local high school, and the school themselves identified which youth would be engaged. All I had to do was train these 6 undergrads to walk in with me, to engage these youth and take photos with a purpose, to spark critical dialogue that could promote positive social change in our community. No small task, right? These students were equipped with the cameras, the tools. My team was prepared, well-intended with really great methodologies in our pockets, approaches of using photo elicitation as a tool to creatively engage these youth with meaningful dialogue. Yet something was missing: belief in the power of their voices. Over the last few years, I've continued to learn about this phenomenon, listening and learning from our community members, parents and youth alike. I've come to understand this is a theme parents of our focus groups, who we also interviewed, labeled as youth callado, youth silencing. This is known as youth not expressing themselves or refraining from sharing information with their community or their parents. Although these Latina parents themselves wanted an open and trusting communication with their kids and saw the value of this, sometimes this wasn't the case. So we saw similar trends in our team. Our research assistants noticed a similar theme. Our community partners, who were so excited to hear about the voices of these youth, noticed a similar theme. Part of the work was these high school students didn't believe that we really wanted to listen. Yet together, we worked through this. And in time, these youth were able to engage in very meaningful dialogue, not only with their peers, but with the community at large. Through their photos and their words, they were able to delve deeper into understanding their experiences and have an outlet to express themselves. These youth learned how powerful their voices could be when they used it intentionally to incite the change within a community, to challenge other adults and other youth to consider the complexities and the systemic challenges that were inherent in our community at the time, such as those that were highlighted by the 8-year-old boy who shared his story. How did we get from day one to here? How did we grapple with this phenomenon of youth pregado and the mistrust that we spoke of? Well, there are a few key ingredients that I want to highlight that really help support this work of youth being empowered to be active agents of change in their community. The first is fostering relationships. This cannot be understated, and it requires time. Fostering relationships that are built on the understanding of mutual respect are essential. Providing youth with the tools to effectively use their voice. So we can't walk in and anticipate they're going to know what to do. But for this, it meant building their capacity and taking photographs with a purpose and a meaning, using effective presentation styles. Another key ingredient is focusing on issues that are relevant to youth themselves. They came up with the themes of what they wanted to talk about, what they wanted to photograph, the challenges that they faced. And recognizing that there are inherent power dynamics, we need to address this and find solutions for this. So the way our team addressed this is by creating spaces where our key stakeholders could be engaged in dialogue with the youth. We created focus groups where parents got to hear from the experiences themselves, and community forums where community members could dialogue with these conversation starters that often were the voices of the youth. So encouraging a model of youth empowerment may be especially important when we're considering research on promotive and protective factors. Promotive and protective factors are those that are defined as conditions or attributes within social ecologies that actively enhance the well-being or eliminate risk for youth. And in this context, one such protective factor is that sense of connectedness, that sense of belonging with your community that really is fostered within these ecologies. So it may begin as a teen feels safe to share a memory of being 8 years old, but through feeling connected with their peers, support from their community, the ripple effects of youth voices can both inspire a community to come together to address difficult challenges and result in youth feeling heard and empowered as active agents of change. Thank you.